What's up, guys? It is Sunday, July 31st. It's a nice, beautiful, rainy day here in Missouri. What a surprise. So, I am about to head to the gym, and today I have legs. And I think I'm going to show you guys how to properly do a squat. I feel like a lot of people have misconceptions about squats and what's right and what's wrong. So, I'm going to give you guys 5 tips on how to properly do a squat. And if you listen, some of these tips just might help you improve your squat, improve your legs, improve your booty. So let's go. I feel like for years I didn't really squat properly, and it's taken me a long time to really master how to squat properly. And I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions out there about how to squat. And I've recently helped a few girls with tips, and it instantly made their squats better. So I wanted to share those tips with all of you guys because I feel like they could really be beneficial and help. So first, when it comes to squatting, this isn't one of my 5 tips, but I think it's really important to open up your hips, especially if you're someone with tight hips. So before I do legs, I always do a little bit of mobility work to open up my hips, which leads to a better squat. So I'm going to show you guys a few of those stretches. So this first stretch, you're going to come into a lunge. You're going to push your knee outward, and you're going to rock counterclockwise and then clockwise. And then you're going to switch. Same thing, push that knee outward and rotate. And then go in the opposite direction. And this is really going to open up your hip pockets. So I do this 2 times on each side. Next one is going to be a frog stretch. So you're going to get in a frog position, and it's a bit awkward, but you're going to push back and then come forward and push your hips into the ground. So you lunge, grab your foot, and then rock back and forth. Sometimes your hamstring locks up. You should feel a big stretch right here. Same thing on the other side. Grab your foot and rock. So those are some 3 really good mobility stretches that will greatly improve your squats. So give them a try. Alright guys, here we are, and I'm about to give you guys some tips on how to properly squat. The first tip I have for you, and it's a myth that a lot of people believe in, and that is that you have to go, pardon my language, but ass to grass. You do not need to go ass to grass to get a good squat, and actually going ass to grass can put your back in a bad position. It deactivates your glutes. So I don't recommend that you try to go ass to grass because you're going to be sacrificing form to do so.
Okay.
So when you are performing a squat, you are going to stop when your knees break parallel with your thighs. So when you're going down, you're going to stop when your knees break parallel with your thighs. So as long as you're going that low, that's good. So I'm going to have my assistant, my husband, show what it means to go ass to grass, and you're going to see how his back gets put in a bad position. See how his back rounds and his butt tucks under? Come back up, bub. And he'll do it again. See how his back rounds? Come up. Get one more angle for you guys. See that? Too low. All right, do a good one. See how he's only gonna break parallel and then come back up. Good. All right, so the second tip I want you guys to remember is head up, chest up. A lot of people, when they're performing a squat, their chest will drop, and this will make your back drop. So as you're squatting, you want your head up and your chest up. As soon as your chest drops, that back rounds. So a good tip to help you guys with if you have trouble doing this is, using a counterbalance. So to help train you to keep your chest upright, as you squat, you're going to use a plate or a ball as a counterbalance. So see how my chest is staying upright? So that'll really help you to keep that chest upright in your squat. So tip number 3 is another thing that a lot of people don't know to do, and that is in a squat, you're gonna drive your knees outward. This is something that I was not doing for years, and just recently when I got my level 1 CrossFit certification, this is something that I learned, and it has greatly improved my squat. So what exactly do I mean by driving my knees outward? It sounds kind of weird, but something to help you to learn to do this is these slingshots. You can order these on Amazon or just search Mark Bell slingshot. And this one, it's called the hip circle, and it's size large, extra large. They make them smaller, but I prefer the bigger one for this specific movement. So you are going to put this just above your knees, like so. And this is a great warm-up you can do before you start squatting. So, as I squat, it's gonna like wanna push my knees in, and I have to force my knees outward to keep them from going in. So you will immediately feel this activating your glutes a lot more. So I would advise doing like maybe 10 of these. Push your knees out. So now when you take this off, and you go to squat, you're going to remember to actively push your knees out the entire squat. Even when you're standing up, you want your knees outward. So drive my knees out and stand. And drive your knees out and stand. Driving your knees out is going to really open up your hips and help you to get lower if you have trouble getting low. So give that a try, and I promise you'll feel it in your glutes a lot more. Tip number 4 is to keep your weight in the heels. When you see a lot of people squat, they come down and their weight will shift into their toes. This is incorrect. You want your heels to stay flat. If you have trouble keeping your heels flat, and maybe because you have poor, it's called dorsiflexion, so you have weak ankle mobility, so you can work on doing some ankle stretches before you start squatting. And also, another tip you can do is putting some plates under your heels if you have trouble. So I'll show you guys. So what I mean by that is, you put the plates on the ground, and you step on them, and this will allow you to get down low enough. So that's something you can try starting and your heels are coming off the ground. This is something you may not even realize you're doing, so I would recommend filming yourself from the side when you're doing squats, and you may be like, I didn't even realize that I was, coming onto my toes like that. So, yeah. My last and final tip number 5, is for when you're actually coming out of the squat. So when you're in the bottom of the squat, you're gonna squeeze your glutes and rise, and you wanna come to full hip extension. Full hip extension means your hips are fully extended, and it's almost gonna give you, like, I call it an ugly butt. It's where you get the dimples in your butt. So I'm simply showing you how to do it. I'm not trying to make PRs right now. I just want to demonstrate a good squat for you guys. So I'm going to have my cameraman stand to the side. I'm going to stand hip width apart, my toes pointed slightly outward. I'm going to sit back and push my knees out, squeeze my butt for the full extension.
We've been working here all night long. Let me see if I could give you better. Even when I'm far and gone, I know you're working for it. We've been working here all night long. Let me see if I could give you better. Even when I'm far and gone, I know you're.
Alright, I hope those tips were helpful for you and give them a try. Comment below if you have any questions. I'm out of breath just from doing those. So yeah, comment below if you have any questions. Shoot me a message on Instagram at LavaFitChick. I will put that in the description below. Yeah, like this video if you guys want to see more. If you guys want to see a how to do a deadlift or anything like that, let me know. Keep checking back for more.